Hey friends, we miss you. Today we're going to read If I Ran the Circus by Dr. Seuss. In all the whole town, the most wonderful spot is behind Sneelock's store in the big vacant lot. It's just the right spot for my wonderful plan, said young Morris McGurk, if I clean up the cans. Now, a fellow like me, said young Morris McGurk, could get rid of this junk with half an hour's work. I could yank up those weeds and chop down the dead tree and haul off those old cars. There are just 2 or 3, and then the whole place will be ready. You'll see. All ready to put up the tents for my circus, and I will call it the Circus McGurkus. The Circus McGurkus, the world's greatest show on the face of the earth or wherever you go. The Circus McGurkus, the cream of the cream. The Circus McGurkus, the circus supreme. The Circus McGurkus, colossal, stupendous, astounding, fantastic, terrific, tremendous. I'll bring in my acrobats, jugglers, and clowns from 1,033 faraway towns to the place that you'll see 'em, ladies and gents, right behind Sneelock's store and the great McGurk tents. And I don't suppose old Mr. Sneelock will mind when he suddenly has a big circus behind. After all, Mr. Sneelock is one of my old friends. He might even help out doing some small odds and ends, doing little odd jobs he could be of some aid, such as selling balloons and the pink lemonade. I think 500 gallons will be about right, and then I'll be ready for opening night. What an opening night, what a night, what a sight. I'll hoist up the curtains, the crowds will crowd in, and my Circus McGurkus will promptly begin with a welcoming toot on my welcoming horn. But my toot-hoarding apes from the jungles of Jorn, where the best horn-tooting apes are all born, because the fresh air there is fine for their lungs. And some of those fellows have 2 or 3 tongues. This way, step right in. This way, ladies and gents. My sideshow starts here in the first of my tents. When you see what goes on, you'll say there is no other circus, as half the great circus is the Circus McGurkus is. Here on stage 1, from the ocean of Ulf, is a sight amazing, most amazing, a walrus named Rolf, who can stand on 1 whisker, this wonderful Rolf, on the top of 5 balls, 2 for tennis, 3 golf. It's a marvelous trick, if I do say so myself. And on stage number 2, here is something quite new. From a country called From comes Dumb-Tummied Snum, who can drum any tune that you might dare to hum. Doesn't hurt him a bit, 'cause his drummy tummy's numb. And you'll now meet the Foon, the remarkable Foon, who eats sizzling hot petables that fall from the moon. And the reason he likes them red hot, it appears, is that he enjoys blowing smoke from his ears. Of course, pebbles like this are quite hard to collect, but Sneelock will manage somehow, I expect. After all, Sneelock is one of my friends, and I'm sure he'll help out doing small odds and ends. And on stage number 4, see the Willy Wahoo, who can throw his long tail as a sort of lasso. With a flip of his hip, with a tail of this kind, he can capture whoever he is standing behind. He can capture old Sneelock. I'm sure he won't mind. And now here is a hoodwink who winks in a wink hood. Without a good wink hood, a hoodwink can't wink good. And folks, let me tell you, there is only one circus with a wink-hooded hoodwink, the Circus McGurkus. The show of all shows, there is no other showman who shows you a show with a blindfolded bowman. The blindfolded bowman from Bragger La Route, the world's sharpest sharpshooter. Look at him shoot through the holes in 4 donuts, 2 hairs on a worm, and the knees of 3 birds without making them squirm. And then on through a crabapple up on his head of old Sneelock, who likes to help out, as I've said. And now come to the spot where the circus spotlight is hot, and you'll see the spotlight in a juggling jot, who can juggle some stuff you might think he could not, such as 22 question marks, which is a lot, and 44 commas, which is also 1 dot. And there is the kind of Circus McGurkus I've got. But that's just my sideshow, a start, a beginning. This way to the big tent, you'll find your head spinning. Why, ladies and gentlemen, youngsters and oldsters, your heads will quite likely spin right off your shoulders. So hurry, step lively, quick, ladies and gents, and get into your seats in my tent of all tents. My parade of all parades is about to commence. You'll see Drumstick Major Sneelock fling his baton, and my organ McGurkus come on, with his hot steaming pipes and gold-plated brass tin, snorting all snorts in a bumbling din. This is super stupendous, stu-mendous, stu-ratoris, and when I play Dixie, please join me in the chorus. Then a muffled truffle will ride on a huffle, and then next in line a flying flummox will shuffle, and the flummox will carry a lurch in a pail, and a fibble will carry the flummox tail. While on top of the flummox, 3 harp twang snarp will twang mighty twangs on their 3 snarper harp, while a bolster blow bloops on a 3-nozzled blueser, and a noster blows floops on a 1-nozzled noozer. And then comes a lion who's partly a trout, and more stuff 45 minutes about. And then behind